There are shows with psychics,
And there are shows with doctors.
but there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
And street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight.
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
Require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic.
and the doc. And it starts now. Welcome, everybody, to the Transformation Network. This is The Psychic and the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, and I'm here with my outstanding, incredible co-host, Dr. Pat Baccili, the founder of the Transformation Network and the star of the hit radio show, The Dr. Pat Show. And we have a really amazing show tonight. And the theme of this show is, do you eclipse your own light? And we decided on that particular topic because in just a few days, on April 8th, there will be a total eclipse of the sun, which will be crossing through the United States and Canada. So, Dr. Pat, do you eclipse your own light?
So I would be not telling the truth if I didn't say that there were parts in time in my life where I eclipsed my whole light, like all the light. Like, where did the light go? I know there were times in my life like that. And, I think all of us go through those times. I think we go through periods and times where we just feel something's off. And we don't know what it is. We're always looking, Mark, oh, it's got to be this, or it's got to be that, it's got to be out there, it's got to be here, it's got to be there. But today's show is really to shine the light on the light, right?
I think that's a really good way of putting it. And you brought up a point, a very important point about how we all do this. And the total eclipse of the sun also is teaching us an important lesson. The light is an eternal force, and that light is not only within you, but it goes not just to the sun, but also in the spiritual sense to the divine. And the light can be blocked, but it can never be extinguished. And the total eclipse is a perfect example of that, because for a few moments, the light of the sun will be blocked. And I understand that in the areas that will be affected by it, the temperature will drop 10 degrees. So it
Wow.
kind of lets everybody know. And I doubt world leaders will get this, because most of them are so involved in their own power and ego. But scientists have told us that if there is a nuclear war, then those who survive will be subjected to the nuclear winter because of all the smoke and dust from the explosions, which will blot out the sun and then throw the earth into an ice age, and not a good one, because it's going to be a radioactive winter. So this is an important lesson for all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah. And the thing that's really interesting about this particular eclipse, there's much that's being written about it. They've identified, from an astrological perspective, Mark, they've identified the signs that will do very well from a prosperous point of view. But they've also identified signs that, from an astrological point of view, that there are some zodiac signs that get ready for the healing. And what's interesting about the signs, when I looked them up, both myself, Linda, and Jessica are included in this really short list. I say short list, but it's long. It's the longest short list I've ever seen. So what's the point? The point is there's a lot being said. However, it really indicates more than I've seen before when I've looked at these things, Mark. The message is everyone is going to be impacted and affected in different ways. And I
Yes.
think that's kind of interesting to talk about. I wonder how people feel so far leading up to it, right?
For thousands of years, total eclipses of the sun have had a profound spiritual impact on people. I mean, in ancient times, folks didn't exactly understand what it was. And so they thought that, the gods or God, depending on, what they believed in, was angry and blotting out the sun. And total eclipses have coincided with several major historical events. I'm just going to point out one.
Yeah.
According to the Gospels in the New Testament, the when Jesus was crucified and when he expired on the cross, everything went dark for a short period of time.
Hmm.
And what astronomers have found is that there were two times, one in 29 AD and the other one in 33 AD, where there was a total eclipse of Judea, which would be Jerusalem and the area where Jesus was crucified. And that may be a possible link between, a verifiable astrological event and something in scripture.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it is, but I find that very, very interesting. So a lot of theologians are finding that this may be a correlation between that and scripture. And that's, for
It's
at least a
fascinating.
billion people in the world, that's a pretty major spiritual event. And in the metaphysical realm, and you touched on this too, Dr. Pat, it's a time of change. Many people and astrologers and metaphysicians see the total eclipse as a portal to change and to transformation. And I'm just, hoping and praying that that means a positive change and transformation, because right now that is exactly what this world needs, is to be transported to a more positive state, a
Yeah.
less violent. Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you, this is really what we're going to weave into the conversation today because you're right on about this. Very rarely do I start to do some research on something like this and I come up with these global things. Like, rarely do you read something that says everybody will blah, blah, blah. But this one in particular is they're very clear on a bunch of things, especially because this eclipse is in Aries, I think. Now, the one later on in the year is in Libra, and I think that's October. I can't remember exactly the date. But, part of this too is also a retrograde effect. So, during today's shows, we're very mindful of where people are in their emotional and healing journey. And that's why we're going to take a very short break. But when we come back, we're going right to the phones. There are folks now that are really sensing, is this all there is? What am I doing? I don't know about you, Mark, but I'm really getting an interesting sense of the people that I work with every day or I talk to every day. And I'm finding a lot of people very unsettled about waiting. They don't want to wait. And because they don't want to wait, they're knee jerk, is that the phrase? My
Yeah.
concern is their knee jerk reactions, and we can see it. We can step back and see it with clients, right? But we
Yes.
don't really interfere when people are so clear about, I don't want to do this and I want to do this, or they're all over the map with what they want to do. We've learned enough here to let that play out. But I will tell everybody, if that's the feeling you have, wait before you do something crazy on it because the eclipse will be over and maybe you'll get some insight, between now and then, and you won't kick your spouse to the curbs just yet. Not sure. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I do. And so many of us eclipse our own light, but by our own self-doubts, by
Oh,
worrying, by,
yeah.
many times we are our own worst
Mm,
critics. And when you beat yourself up and tear yourself down, you're blocking that inner light.
yeah. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of callers. We're ready. Are you ready, Mark? I'm ready.
I am ready.
I just like drinking a little bit more of this caffeine here, but that's okay. We're going to go right to the phones. Emily, if you will take us to break when we come back, we've got folks waiting. We want to get there. Kim from Boston, Daniela from Peru. We've also got Anita from Texas. We're going to check in with you, Anita, about the eclipse. And then Tracy from Wisconsin. Hope I said that right. Let's take a short break, Emily. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Psychic and the Doc. Before we get rolling here, and Kim, we're going to get right over to you. Mark, what is the best way, again, for people to keep up with you? I know you're traveling, of course, you're up to so many different things. You've got these beautiful circles you do. How do people find out about any and all of that?
Please visit my website, which is afterlifefrequency.com. In week after next, I'll be in San Rafael at the New Living Expo in California, San
Mm,
Rafael, between April 19th and 20th. The following weekend, on April 28th, I'll be at the Unity of Tampa for an Edgar Casey Field Conference
wow.
on reincarnation. And then the following weekend, May 3rd through the 5th, and I'm speaking on May 4th, and I can remember May the 4th be with you. I will be at the Edgar Casey Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach for their reincarnation conference. And then on May 17th and 18th, I'll have online light circles limited to 6 people each, so
Mm.
everybody gets a reading. So, and that's just what's happening in the next month. So, you can find out about all that by signing up for my newsletter at afterlifefrequency.com. Dr. Pat, I think we need to go to the phones.
Let's do it. Emily, who do we have?
Kim from Boston, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, are you on your little
Hi.
speakerphone there?
Oh, I think I turned the speaker off.
Yes,
Yeah,
if you turn
please.
it off, it'll be so much better for Mark.
Oh, I turned it off. You want it on?
No, you're good.
No,
So you
no.
got it off now? Great. Thank you. How can we help you tonight, Kim?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm just calling for a general reading. I'm just,
Okay.
I follow
Okay.
your show. I'm just excited to
The,
finally be on the phone.
the,
It's
the,
finally good to have you, Kim. Thank you for popping those buttons real quick today.
the
Mark is going to see if he can connect the way that only Mark can. So all I'm asking you to do is let Mark do what he does, and when he's ready, he will step in and he'll ask you. Other than that, just please kind of be with it, okay, while he's doing his magic. Do you mind that, Kim?
Don't mind at all.
All
all
righty.
right. Kim, I'm picking up a male spirit, a male energy around you. Now, he could be on your generational level, which would be like a sibling, spouse, friend, but he could be on the parent level, and which doesn't necessarily mean a parent. It's a father type figure, like an uncle, somebody like that. I'm not sure which level he is just yet. And actually, you got about 4 spirits around you, but I'm going to focus on this gentleman. I'm immediately feeling this dry, burning sensation in my throat and in my upper lungs. So he was having difficulty with his throat, larynx, his windpipe, lungs. Poor guy. Toward the end, his lungs, it was just brutal. I mean, it feels like it's like having steel wool in lungs. So he was having either lung cancer or emphysema, COPD, and the reason for that I'm saying it could be different things is different injuries, causes of death, ailments have a similar physical sensation, but my lungs feel like they are on fire. I do get that right up until the end, he was mentally clear, sharp as a tack. He knew what was going on. I feel very nauseated. Nausea is an indicator that he was having difficulty eating, holding down food prior to passing. However, nausea can also be a cancer indicator. Doesn't always mean cancer, but it could. I want to hold position here. Does any of this make sense to you, Kim?
I think so. I think I know who it is.
Okay, do not give me his name. What is the relationship, like cousin, friend, like that?
Brother.
Oh, your bro. Okay. Remember I said he could be on your level. All right, let's work with him. Hold on. Is there a Pat or a Patty? Could be a Patrick. I mean, we got Dr. Pat here. I know that, but I'm hearing like a Patty, like that. And just out of curiosity,
No,
hold on. Did you guys spend a lot of time? And I know you're brother and sister, but did you spend a lot of time together when you were really young? And the reason I'm saying this because I'm hearing patty cake, bakers, man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. And I know that sounds corny, but I get a lot of these songs because spirits scan my brain and they find these memories. And I'm getting this whole patty cake thing, which would indicate that the two of you spent a lot of time when you were very young.
No, I don't think we did that. I don't remember that part.
I'm not asking about the patty cake song. Did he spend time with you when you were a child? That's what I'm saying.
Um, Not that much. He was gone often.
Interesting. Interesting. Then this may not be your brother. Is there anyone
Mhm.
else who may have died of some type of lung ailment, lung problem that spent a lot of time with you when you were very young?
No, no, not that I remember.
Hmm.
Is your dad in spirit?
So, oh my God, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in like 9 years.
Wow.
Okay. Was your dad around a lot when you were a child?
He was around, but he didn't talk much.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't want to strain and struggle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a pass on this.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be interesting for you to think about it, Kim. I know for me, when Mark was talking to you, a couple of things came to mind. And sometimes when, we hear information and it sounds like somebody of our generation and age, it could be a friend. For example, my situation is I don't remember anything with the people like that, but I had some other people very close to me in my life. So give it a couple of days and really think about it. And then please feel free to call in when you get some insight. Okay, Kim?
And Kim, before you
Okay.
go, don't, this spirit's talking about your brakes, brake lines, brake lines. So that indicates either you just had something done with your car, your brakes, or you need to take a look at them, or rather have them checked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because this is very important. So, this person's going to make sense to you, but you get your brakes, brake lines checked, or if you don't have a car, if you're getting in a car with somebody else, in the near future, this sounds like there could
Mm-hmm.
be an issue with brakes and brake lines. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Kim. Thank you.
Thanks.
Um, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, sometimes you just need a little room for that to soak in, Mark.
Well,
Um,
yeah, yeah, and I want to bring something up. Sometimes
sure.
people hyperanalyze and overthink things, and by doing that, they create a block. Okay, we say, well, was your brother around you a lot? No. Okay, well, he may have been around or sat
Hmm.
you at one point. Her dad could have been around. I'm not picking on Kim.
Exactly.
Just saying, a lot of people are looking for this to be Alexa. Okay, like Alexa, tell me exactly this. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
realize I'm communicating with another dimension. So don't overthink, don't hyperanalyze, and don't go to no directly, because no, 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 no creates a negative
Right.
barrier. It takes time, and in many instances, it doesn't make sense right away, but then after the reading. In fact, we had this situation a
Yes.
couple weeks ago. We had a client on who was no, 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 and
I
then after the
remember.
show, she sent us this lengthy email how it was yes, 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 because people get caught up in the moment. They're on the radio, they're on the spot, they're not thinking, and then afterwards, it's like I remember it was something about a blue car, a big blue car. No, no,
Something,
no, no,
yeah.
and the lady wrote back says my mother had a huge blue station wagon, and then everything else was
Right,
right on point. So, just because you don't get it right away,
right.
don't eclipse your own light.
That's exactly it. Yeah, because it's somebody out there. Daniela, why don't we do that, Emily? Why don't we bring Daniela on?
Okay, Daniela from Peru, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Daniela. Welcome to the Psychic and the Doc. Great to hear from you.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You bet. I'm going to connect you with Mark and let's see what
Okay.
comes through. You got that, Daniela?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes.
right. Oh, and Daniela, make sure you say yes or no as opposed to because sometimes I can't tell the difference because I got a lot going on here. I'm
Okay.
talking to you, talking to Dr. Pat, and I'm talking to the other side. All right. Now
Okay.
I'm getting a female energy coming through, and what I'm getting with her is a lot of coughing, and I'm getting this blockage in my sinuses and massive pain in my head. Also feel like I'm nausea and vomiting. And so once again, like I indicated prior to in the prior reading, nausea can indicate a cancer issue. Doesn't always mean cancer, but it very well could. I'm also, that would mean that she was having a hard time eating prior to passing. This poor woman, not only am I getting the pain in the head and the sinuses, but she was also experiencing a lot of difficulty in her GI tract, her colon and lower GI tract. Um, Based on the sensations that I'm getting, this does feel like a cancerous condition. And I'm trying to pinpoint the cancer, but it was all, oh, this poor woman was riddled with cancer when she passed. Does any of this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Don't give me her name, just the relationship to you.
She was my mom.
Your mom. Okay. So let's get your mom coming through. And now this is fascinating. First off, please accept our deepest sympathies on the passing of your mom.
Yeah.
Dr. Pat and I, Dr. Pat lost two moms, and I lost mine, and it is very painful. But this,
Yes.
your mom is handing you a birthday cake, and it's got pink frosting. It's yellow cake. I'm tasting strawberries and cherries, a lot of whipped cream. Now that's interesting that she's giving you this whole thing with cake. But what I'm getting is 3 weeks either side of today. So think of today as smack in the middle of a 6 week time frame. Okay, so within 3 weeks ago, which would be, let me see, like a third week in March up to the end of April, there could be a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to her or you or someone close to either of you. Is there anything there, Danielle?
Yes. Both our birthdays.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
both.
can you both, yeah, if you could speak up, or Emily,
Yeah.
if you can turn up the gain
Yeah.
on
Say
Danielle,
it
just
again,
a bit.
Daniela.
Yeah.
Yeah, both our birthdays are coming up in the
Perfect.
next
Okay.
2 to 3
So
weeks.
see,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
it. That's
yeah,
wow.
so that's a verifiable fact following a message. Another, I'll explain it later. All right. So we got your mom here, and hold on. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. All right, I'm sure we all know that song. But what is it about boating? She keeps talking about boating, and I'm not getting like big ships and things. I'm getting boating. Um, is your dad in spirit by chance, Daniela?
No.
Okay. Because she's talking about your dad. Did you guys ever do anything with camping or boating? I'm getting this whole boating thing.
Yes, my dad had a fishing company, and his first two boats were named after her.
Oh my gosh. Row, row, row your boat. All right. So fantastic. And she's telling me, do you know if your dad's having any stomach or indigestion issues? Because when she focuses on your dad, my stomach is just not feeling very good.
I don't know. I talked to him today, but he didn't say.
Okay, keep an eye on dad. Question though. She may be referencing your dad, but this could apply to you. Have you been having any digestive, it could be like tension that you're
Y-
holding in your stomach, but I'm getting a lot of this. Go ahead, Daniela.
yes, yes, I've had digestive problems.
Okay, so your mom's here. She wants to help. Ooh, I'm tasting pineapple, but I'm getting like not good, not good. Now, pineapple is a complex food because it's a healing food on one hand, because it's a natural anti-inflammatory. On the other hand, it's high in acid and sugar, and it can really tear up people's systems. Is there anything with pineapple, or are you having an issue with sugar?
I do have an issue with sugar.
Okay, and definitely that would mean pineapple is off the menu. Okay, it's too
Yeah.
high on the glycemic index. All right. And
Yes.
she said you're of late. I like the way your mom talks, her spirit talks. Of late, OF late, comma, your dreams have not been good. Your sleep has been disturbed. You're sleeping in this staccato, like you'll sleep for a while, then you'll wake up, sleep for a while, wake up. You're having a very difficult time with sleeping, and she wants to remove all that tension, discord, and upset because you deserve a good night's sleep. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to finish this and then turn you over to Dr. Pat. Because she brought sugar up so much, when's the last time you went in for a checkup where they did your blood sugar, A1C, all that stuff?
2 months ago?
Okay, is your sugar too high? Because what I'm getting from your mom is this is part, a large part of what's disturbing your sleep is your blood sugar levels are like up and down. They're like the Dow Jones. You're up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yes, that's what my blood sugar does. I have prediabetes and reactive hypoglycemia.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let me finish this and neither Dr. Pat nor I are medical doctors, but you need to talk to your healthcare provider about what you can do. Maybe you should have like a little bit of oatmeal or something else prior to bed to keep your blood sugar stable while you're sleeping so you can get a decent night's sleep. But please check with your doctor how to handle this. Now I'm going to turn you over to Dr. Pat.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Daniela, thank you so much for being so patient with us. And yes, you know, our hearts go out to all of you out there. But I do want to pick up on what Mark said about two things. And I'm going to be really direct for lack of time.
Okay.
Let me see if this is you and you don't have to answer. You could cough and tell me it's you. Are you having problems with trying to please everybody around you? Are you trying to please everybody here, Daniela?
No, not really. Not at
You're
all.
pretty good. Okay, so you're taking good care of
Yeah.
yourself then? So you're not worried about what people
I'm
are thinking
trying.
about you? Okay, but you're not worried
No.
about what people are thinking about you, right?
No.
Okay. So the question really is, especially as you come up on a birthday, you're either going to be tapping into Aries or Taurus. And if you have both of these working on for you, there's a couple of things to pay attention to, right? You're going to get a lot of intuitive messages. Do you know what we mean when we say intuitive messages? Like you might get them in
Yes.
your, they may be in your dreams, right? Because this whole eclipse is going to hit your 12th house, and that is about healing. It's about closure. So there's something for you to close. I don't know if you have bad feeling about somebody, but there's something that has to do with another person, and only you know that. There's some kind of resentment you have with another person. Is that true? You don't have to tell me who they are
Yes.
on air. It's true, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Yes. So whatever that is, that this is the time to heal that. Resentment is the number one offender. It will kill, it kills our soul, it kills our spark. And the bottom line with resentment is the other person doesn't even know it, they don't even feel it. We take that in. So this is really the time during this eclipse for you to heal. You have to heal this thing
Okay.
that's going on. The anger, whatever that is going on with this person, you got to really find a little place
Okay.
to let that go.
Okay.
Okay, would you try to do that? I will give you my gratitude talk and then I'll let you go. The fastest way to get rid of fear, anger, resentment is to go to a place of gratitude. And you know, that sounds a little cheesy. So let me explain what I mean. When we cannot thank whatever for Mary, Tom, Dick, or Harry, the only way I've learned how to do it is I thank the God of my understanding. And I just do it over and over and over again without having a thing. But you have to try to shift the energy that you have towards this person or people. I don't know why I think it's more than one person. So would you try to do that, Daniela?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay. Because that is going to be the key to the sugar. It's going to be the key to the stress. It's going to be the key to all of that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you, Daniela. Thank you very much. Emily, let's take a short break if we could, and then when we come back, we'll go right to the phones. How do you think? Let's just do that. Hi, Anita. You going to be watching the solar eclipse? Make sure you wearing the good glasses, okay?
Thank you, Mark.
How can we help you tonight,
My
Anita?
thank you. I was wondering if my higher self or any of my loved ones across the veil have any guidance for me as far as my career slash monetary abundance for this next part of my life.
Let's see.
Okay, you got to realize, always be careful going into spirit communication with an agenda, because what you think you want, you need, may be different from what the other side knows you need to hear. Okay, so
Okay.
hold on, Anita. I'm getting a male energy coming through, and he was younger when he passed. I'm trying to get a fix on his age. He looks like he could have been in his early 20s. He's right around, could be late teens, but early 20s. And what I'm getting with him is a massive impact sensation to my body and a numbness. And then he just he expired very quickly. Now, the impact sensation can mean any of the following. It can mean a traumatic passing. But when I get that impact, that jolt to my head, that can also mean an abrupt, unexpected passing. I'm curious with this spirit, the numbness, and I'm feeling numbness in my mouth. This very well could have been a drug overdose. And a drug overdose doesn't always mean an illegal drug. It could be an interaction between other medications. But I'm getting this numbness and expiring very rapidly. Is there any male that would fit that description connected to you? Doesn't have to be a family member. It could be a friend, or could have even been somebody that you knew around that age.
It's very possible because in my younger days, I was very sensitive to people who passed, especially if it was just somebody from my school or celebrities and things like that. It used to touch me pretty deeply, so that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, he keeps handing me boughs of holly, and I'm hearing fa la 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 la, which is cracking me up. But there could be somebody connected to you or him by the name of Holly. However, usually when I get piles of holly, that would indicate, and it does not have to apply to him. It could be connected to you in some way, a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to you or him or someone close to either of you within December. Is there anything? And most people like Christmas. This is other than ho ho ho. We like Christmas. Anything in December?
Yeah, right now that doesn't ring a bell.
Hold on. Now he's giving me the image of a lion, and that would be the Leo time frame, which runs roughly from July 20 to August 20, give or take a day or so on either end. Anything with Leo, Leo can also be a male L name, a Leo, Leon, Larry, Lawrence, something like that, connected to you either on planet Earth or in spirit.
Yeah, honestly, that doesn't ring a bell at this time.
You're thinking too hard. You're thinking too
Okay.
hard. If I give you Leo time frame, go with what hits you first. Don't sit there and hyperanalyze, because that creates a block. I have a feeling I know what they're talking about. I'm just going to tell you what the message is. This young man, and you'll figure out who he is later on, because he goes, she knows me. She's just not clicking. He goes, she's not clicking. And he's funny the way he's saying it. There's a change coming in the Leo time frame, which has to do with your career, with your finances. And at first, you're going to feel that this is not a good thing, but it's going to come to fruition by the end of the year in December. That's what they're telling me. And so the advice for you from your spirits is, don't react negatively if you get news that goes contrary to what you were anticipating. In other words, and they're holding up a nice cold cucumber, be cool as a cucumber. Okay, Dr. Pat.
Yes, thank you. So, Anita, I have a couple of questions for you. Because sometimes Leo is Leo the lion, it could be anything like that. But more specifically, it's interesting this came up for you because in this eclipse, Leo is touched in a certain way. Can I ask you what your sign is? Do you know what your sign is? What month were you born?
It's Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius. So it's interesting that Leo would come up in the realm of looking at this for you, because I think the messages for Leo, and you could take these in, you could tell him, you don't need to tell me on air if this is right, just take it in, and if it's not right, just be ready for it. This time with this Leo energy and this eclipse, right, it's an interesting sign as it moves through, but really what it's saying is that your ability to be vulnerable can open up major breakthroughs and possibilities. So I don't know where you are in your life, if you're really holding on to something really tightly. Do you know what I mean by holding on to something really tightly? Right? Do you
Yes.
know what I mean? Right. Like, I
Yes,
mean,
I do.
those of us that have been in really not good relationships, we know the true meaning of holding on too tightly. I will tell you that right now.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying that's you, but it's something to think about. The other part of this that was interesting in what Mark brought forward is Leo is an interesting, okay, please don't email me. This is just my 2 cents. It's a young, I see it as a young sign, young. Now, it's a young energy. Those of us that are supposed to really get along with Leos, because they're such extroverts, sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. And so I don't know if there's somebody young in your life or what you've got going on, but everything that I'm picking up is something you're afraid of. And I don't know what that is. Because from an Aquarian perspective in this eclipse, I can't believe this. Both signs, Leo that he mentioned and Aquarius, both of them are telling you to be more vulnerable. So I don't even know what that's about. I mean, it's so unusual to have two signs under an eclipse. Both say, be more vulnerable, and this will be, I'm not kidding, I don't make it up, cathartic breakthrough. So, does that even make sense to you? Are you holding on to something so tightly that it's almost suffocating you? Is there something like that that's going on? Because what they're saying, you got to be a little bit more vulnerable. There's something happening with that, okay?
Okay, I'll have to meditate on that.
You have to meditate. You said meditate, right?
Yes.
Meditate. I would meditate, but I'd also not meditate. What I'm going to encourage you to do is for the next couple of days, stop thinking about it and just see what shows up. I don't know if there's something you're holding on to about your career, about prosperity. And this is what I call a fear lock. It's a lock. I made up this term. It's called a fear lock. When fear grabs you so deeply, especially around money. I don't know I'm not saying this is you, but if this is you, you're going to have to think about what I'm saying. When you get into a fear lock with money, right? And you try to battle that with your mind, you will lose. You will lose that battle. But if you try to battle that fear with your spiritual practices, you will win. So that's something to focus on, okay? That's what I'm picking up. There's something around holding tightly onto money or tightly onto fear around money, but you don't have to talk about it on air, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just see what comes up. And the reason I say don't meditate is because I've already given you the thing to meditate about, so it's already going to be a biased meditation. So all I'm asking you to do is just walk around like you're making spaghetti or something. No, you're in Texas. You're making some barbecue or some chili down there or something. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh. Please just pay attention to things that are going to show up in times that you just don't think they will.
I will. Thank you.
Especially 4 days from now. Thank you, Anita. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so unusual to have two signs under this eclipse. that
Yeah.
are right there with vulnerability. Okay, Miss Emily. Ms. Emily.
Okay, up next we
Okay.
have Tracy from Wisconsin, or Wisconsin, or whatever you guys are saying. Tracy.
We never
We,
said,
we got to get
Tracy, we're
Tracy to
sorry.
say it. You
Come
got to
on,
get Tracy.
Tracy. Yeah, we're so sorry. We just don't have the proper pronunciation of Wisconsin.
Oh, what? Am I on?
Yeah, you're live on the Psychic and the
Hello?
Doc. Welcome.
Well, this is Tracy. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
And I am in
Tracy-
Wisconsin. Is that what you couldn't pronounce?
Yeah. Say it
We don't
again.
know how to
Say it
say
again.
it right. Go ahead.
It's Wisconsin. That's how I
Okay.
say it.
We got you. All right. So I'm going to turn you over to Mark right now. And let's see what's going to show
Thank
up
you.
for you. Okay, Tracy? Thank you.
Go ahead, Tracy.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello.
Yeah, how can I help you?
I don't know. I just want to know if you have any messages for me from the other side, from whomever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
advice.
I'm getting a female energy coming in. She could be on your generational level, meaning like a sister or a friend. Could be on the one just above it, but I'm getting like real close to you. A lot of fun. You guys had a lot of fun. She keeps laughing and talking, and she said you're just great. And what I'm getting with her is I'm feeling a sensitivity in what would be her breasts and also in her cervix and uterine area, and a tremendous amount of soreness, like a burning sensation, and that usually is indicative of a cancerous condition. And also, I'm feeling lumps now in my throat, and that usually is an indication of lymph glands. So I feel that this woman had a cancerous condition and it metastasized. And she put up a huge fight. I mean, she really fought back at the cancer and held on as long as she could. And then I'm getting that her condition just spiraled downwards. Does this person make sense to you in any way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she does.
All right. Please don't give me her name, just the relationship connection to you, like friend, cousin, whatever.
She was a high school friend.
High school. Okay. All right. Yeah. You guys had a lot of fun. Okay. Hold on. This is interesting. She said you were in touch near the end. It doesn't necessarily seem like you were physically there, but she's talking about like in communication or in touch. Does that make sense?
She lived in Florida, but yes, we were still in touch.
Yeah, you're in
periodically.
touch. Okay, hold on. She wants you to know you have no idea. This is her saying what a good friend you are. And she said not just to me, but to everyone. She's explaining to me that you go out of your way. You're very selfless. You're the antithesis of being selfish. You go out of your way to make accommodations for other people, to help other people. She said your gift is that you give of yourself to others. Also, she showed me a fire truck, fire hose. I'm smelling fire. Okay, is anyone connected to you, either a paramedic, firefighter, or were you in a fire or had a fire? I'm getting this whole fire thing.
I've got experience in law enforcement. I know a lot of fire people, but I can't think of anything because I'm scared to death of fire.
Well, that would be that. That's a verifiable
Obsessed.
fact following the message. Yeah, when a spirit gives us a message of an explanatory or advisory nature, which she did about you,
Mhm.
like you get the best friend of the year award, and and then when they follow that up with an objectively verifiable fact, fire, you're terrified of fire. That verifiable fact of your fear of fire is how the spirit's letting you and I know that we've properly received and interpreted the message. And she showed me the Scorpio time frame, which runs roughly from October 20 to November 20, give or take a day or so on either end. And she's talking about Scorpio. So there could be a birth, death, anniversary, or event connected you or her or someone close to you within Scorpio. And I'm getting that this coming Scorpio time frame, she's giving me thumbs up. I'm getting a real positive thing. Okay, anything there that you recognize?
My deceased husband's birthday
is in October.
You're who?
And he knew
Deceased
her.
husband.
My deceased husband. My late
Okay.
husband. I usually call him
Your
my
late-
dead
late-
husband. I guess it's late husband.
No. How
It's
about your
okay.
husband in spirit? Your husband in spirit. So you see, your friend came in first,
Yes.
and I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but let me get to him.
No, I
So
understand.
she's setting up the communication, and here he is. And he is, there's a mail coming through with tons of roses. Now, look, I realize everybody probably likes roses, but these are red roses. And this isn't just a dozen roses. This is like 4 or 5 dozen roses. So there's something about roses, and I'm smelling roses. Roses are also one of my triggers for the month of February because of Valentine's Day. So he's giving you all these roses, and the long stem red roses, that's a romantic love. And I'm getting a pressure buildup in my chest, and I'm feeling it going right through my back, like my whole left side of my chest is hurting really badly. And I'm also getting pancreatic liver issues. Oh, this poor guy had a lot of endocrine issues as well. Does any of this resonate with you?
Yeah, he died February 19th of 2019. He died in ICU. He had a blood disorder, which led to his lungs filling up with fluid, probably Agent Orange related. He was a bit older than me.
Okay.
So yeah,
So-
February, and he also gave me roses all the time.
Oh my God. Well, he still is from spirit. And he said, this may sound corny, but you are the love of my life. And now he is doing something really corny. And I'm almost loath to say this, but if I don't, he's like flicking me in the head. He's like singing that you light up my life, da da da. And that's like a really cheesy romantic song, but it's so sweet. So he was a tough guy.
It's him.
But what a teddy bear at heart.
Yeah, he was a lot older than me, and we were together. He raised my 2 small children. I didn't know many 62-year-old men that took on 2 young children, 4 and 12, when he could have been sitting on a beach smoking a cigar, retired. You know. So
you know what though,
he saved us.
he would have never made a different choice. You lit up his life. All right, Dr. Pat, this is
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
have one quick question for you. Obviously, there was a
Okay.
reason you called in. Obviously, there's something on your mind. What is the question that you have? Because I think we have an answer. I think there's a question that you're asking yourself. I'm not sure what it is, though.
I just don't want to cry.
I know.
After my husband's daughter died, about a year later, my daughter estranged herself. It's been 4 years, and she won't have any contact with me. This estrangement of parents is an epidemic, and it makes no sense. And that was his girl. He used to call her his kid. So she weighs heavy on my mind. She just had a baby.
Mm.
But I just pray he's watching over that little boy, because I can't be there.
Yeah.
he is. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dr. Pat. I don't
Go
mean
ahead,
to
Mark. Go
chime
ahead,
in.
because I knew there was something. There's got to be another message from him.
He said he'll always be by your side, her side, and the boy's side.
Hmm.
Okay. And he is explaining that he calls her Alice in Wonderland. And I don't mean that in a escapist way. It's just that she's like had
No.
this split with reality, and she has completely lost her way. Like she's going through this maze of bushes. And he said, be patient, give her time. She will find her way back to you.
Yeah.
All right, now, Dr.
Yeah,
Pat,
she went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you know what? It's so interesting you said that, because I was going to ask you, what's the relationship between what you're calling in about and the song by Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit? I don't know what that, but I felt really weird asking that question, because I didn't have any reason to ask you that question. But here's the thing I want to say to you. You've got to give yourself a break. You've got to let this go. There are priorities in your life right now that are going to shift for you. That's what this eclipse is about for you. You're the Scorpio, right? You're a Scorpio?
My husband is. I'm a Virgo. I'm a
You're
Virgo. He was a
you're
Scorpio.
Virgo. Okay, so this is, I'm
And
telling
she's
you,
a
this
Pisces.
is, yeah, we can't even talk about Pisces today. There's not enough much time
Oh,
in the
I
show
know.
to talk about that
I
dynamic.
know, I
But
know,
I
I
do,
know,
Pisces are
I know.
incredibly creative people, but Virgo, again, I got to say it again. Vulnerability, this is the message under the eclipse. I'm not making this up, Mark. Vulnerability is your superpower. So when you said, I don't want to cry, I know how hard it is for you to cry, but yet I will tell you, those tears on air have helped so many people because so many people cannot be vulnerable in their pain. And you just gave a lot of people permission to do that. Do you understand?
Yeah, and I think that's why I mentioned the whole estrangement epidemic that's going on.
Thank you.
There
Yeah,
are so
thank
many
you.
parents have no clue,
That
no clue.
it is.
And I just
It
tell
is.
them it'll get better. It'll get better.
You're right. And this is really for you. I'm going to leave
We have
you
to
with
be,
this because this is super important for you. This is to reflect on the balance within your closest relationships. You see, this is, I don't make this stuff up. This is what this eclipse means.
I know you don't.
You know, but look at
Yeah.
who in your life really shows up for you when you need it most. Who is that person?
Right.
That's the person you want to focus on because we can't put our time and energy into people except to praise them and raise them and let them go. They will come back when
Right.
they're ready.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much to both of you. You guys
Yes.
have,
Oh, thank you
Yes,
for
I
calling
just found
in.
you guys and you guys have
Oh,
been,
yeah, if
I
we
can't
had
even,
more
I can't
time,
even
I'd spend
express
more
in
time
words.
with you.
Thank you.
But I got to tell you, please
No,
find
I
this
understand.
person. I don't know who this close person is for you. I don't know if they're like somebody from high school, but there's somebody really close to you. Think about who
Is my
would be
kid's
there for me.
godmother.
There you go.
My
Bingo.
kid's godmother.
I'm
All right.
telling you,
Thank you
just
both very much. You've brought a lot
go
of light to my
have
life.
coffee. All right, thank you. Go have coffee with them. I am not going to let go of that song. That Grace Slick. I mean, people, they're like, Emily's probably like, who is she talking about? Uh, Jefferson Airplane. They created probably the most replayed song in almost every block.
Yeah.
The Matrix, the whole White Rabbit thing. But Mark, thank you for today. Thank you for everything today for people.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, and everybody out there. Don't eclipse your light. And if you are looking at the eclipse, Dr. Pat said it earlier, please wear the special glasses. Do not stare at the sun. It'll burn your retina. There's no point in going blind to see something that goes dark for a couple minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So please do that. And if you're where it's going over, enjoy it wherever you are. If you're going to watch it from any angle, please wear those glasses. All right. And the doc and the psychic will be back next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.